Good morning, rainbows. I'm back with a mustache. How are you today? Good. I'd like you to find a place to sit, crisscross applesauce, and take a deep breath with me. 1, 2, 3. That felt good. I have the chime. I'll put it here. If you want, you can close your eyes. If you don't, you can leave them open. When the sound stops, we'll open our eyes. Are you ready? Crisscross applesauce. 1, 2, 3. I shall start with a couple of knock-knock jokes from this book. Knock, knock. Who's there? Rhoda. Rhoda who? Rowed the boat across the lake. Knock, knock. Who's there? Luke. Luke who? Look out! There's a hole in the boat. Oh no. When there's a hole in the boat, it can sink. Knock, knock. Who's there? Dwayne. Dwayne who? Dwayne the lake. I'm drowning. Oh no. Knock, knock. Who's there? Otto. Otto who? Otto know how to swim. Okay. Well, last time I read a book, it was one of my favorite books called Frederick by Lionni. And this book is also by Lionni, and it's called Fish is Fish. Are you ready to listen? You got your listening ears on? Okay. And Lionni, he did the illustrations for the book too. He wrote it and he illustrated it, which means he did the pictures for it. At the edge of the woods, there was a pond, and there was a minnow, and a tadpole swam among the weeds. They were inseparable friends. Inseparable means that they couldn't be separated. They loved to play together. They were the best buddies. One morning, Tadpole discovered that during the night he had grown 2 little legs. Look, he said triumphantly. Look, I'm a frog. Nonsense, said the minnow. How could you be a frog if only last night you were a little fish just like me? They argued and argued until finally the tadpole said, Frogs are frogs and fish are fish, and that's that. In the weeks that followed, the tadpole grew tiny front legs, and his tail got smaller and smaller. And then, one fine day, a real frog now, he climbed out of the water and onto the grassy bank. And the bank is the place where the water and the land meet. See him climbing out? He can breathe air, and the fish can't. The minnow, too, had grown and had become a full-fledged fish. He often wondered where his 4-footed friend had gone. But days and weeks went by, and the frog did not return. How do you think the fish is feeling? Yeah, I think you're right. A little lonely. He misses his friend. Then one day, with a happy splash that shook the weeds, the frog jumped into the pond. Where have you been? Asked Fish excitedly. I have been about the world, hopping here and there, said the frog, and I have seen extraordinary things. Extraordinary is kind of like things you wouldn't believe. Maybe you've never seen them before. Like what? Asked the fish. Birds, said the frog mysteriously. Birds? And he told the fish about the birds who had wings and 2 legs and many, many colors. As the frog talked, his friend saw the birds fly through his mind like large feathered fish. What else? Asked the fish impatiently. So that's what the fish thinks that the birds look like. Isn't that wild? Like a rainbow. Cows, said the frog. Cows? They have 4 legs, horns, eat grass, and carry pink bags of milk. Can you see? That's what the fish thinks the cow looks like. A fish. And people, said the frog. Men, women, children. And he talked and talked until it was dark in the pond. But the picture in the fish's mind was full of lights and colors and marvelous things, and he couldn't sleep. Ah, if he could only jump about like his friend and see that wonderful world. And so the days went by. The frog had gone, and the fish just lay there, dreaming about birds in flight, grazing cows, and those strange animals all dressed up that his friend called people. One day he finally decided that come what may, he too must see them. And so with a mighty whack of his tail, he jumped clear out of the water onto the bank. Uh-oh. Can fish be out of water? Let's see. He landed in the dry, warm grass, and there he lay, gasping for air, unable to breathe or move. Help! He groaned feebly. Oh, he can't breathe. Luckily, the frog, who had been hunting butterflies nearby, saw him. And with all his strength, he pushed him back into the pond. What a wonderful friend to be close by to help. He's lucky, that fish. Still stunned, the fish floated about for an instant. Then he breathed. Let's take a deep breath. He breathed deeply, letting the clean, cool water run through his gills. Now he felt weightless again, and with an ever so slight motion of the tail, he could move to and fro, back and forth, and up and down as before. The sun rays reached down within the weeds and gently shifted luminous patches of color. This world was surely the most beautiful of all worlds. He smiled at his friend, the frog, who sat watching him from a lily leaf. You were right, he said. Fish is fish. And that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you later. Maybe at Zoom or at our drive-by or wave-by at the school. I'm going to blow you a kiss. Love you. Hope to see you soon.